Whoa, we are on. I was just reeling in, guys. Oh. Hey guys, Isaac here from One Up Fishing, back down at the creek in the mangroves that heads out into the bay. We'll go to the mouth. I've got a lure rod and just a bait rod with me today, and have some yakka and a range of lures. So yeah, we'll just see what we can get. The conditions are looking pretty good. There's no wind yet. The tide's perfect. On the way in I could see fish feeding and stuff, so it's looking good, and I'm pretty optimistic. So let's see how we go. These are the two flathead that I caught last time I was at this spot. These are just the frames. I always love to, rather than throw my frames in the bin, put them back in the waterways, like the crabs, other fish, rays, everything will eat it. The circle of life, my friend, rather than have it, you know, go out to the tip and just sit there. So you guys, just got some burley. This one's a bit exotic. It's got some rice in it, some leftover rice that went a bit bad. But yeah, tuna oil, tuna, bread, rice. It's not a lot of burley, but you don't need a lot. Just a little spoonful of this every so often, and just hopefully it's the factor that brings a fish in and lands us a nice catch. So we're going to be using the Irukandji MEGAPRAWN, the 80mm. This is Reaper colour. Irukandji sent me these, and yeah, I've hooked onto a few flatty with them so far, so we'll keep using them because they seem pretty good. Ready to climb up on the spot, but I'll just chuck another spoonful of burley. It's getting deeper every time I come out. I'm making holes in the mud. So this rig's just a circle hook, glow bead to attract the attention, then a bit of leader, I think this is 10 pound, and then a bean sinker. Just because it's a bit snaggy, I don't want my rig kind of rolling with the tide and then rolling into a snag. I kind of just want to cast it into a spot and have it sit there. So there's a bit of yakka through twice. Check that drag, it's very tight. Want the drag fairly loose, just because sometimes it takes us a bit to get to the rod. Like if I've got a lure out, I don't want to leave that out and get tangled, so I've got to bring in my other line before I can kind of get to the fish on this one. And here's the Irukandji MEGAPRAWN. Great looking prawn. It's got those peppery flakes through it, which I love. Very natural looking. It's got a slit on the underbelly. Put some scent in that, and that should be irresistible. Already getting nibbles on the other rod. Oh, on. Don't go to the right, my friend. Oh, no, it pulled. The drag is fairly loose as well. That's a fairly loose drag. So on first cast, I mean, you can't recommend a lure more than that, can you? Same old technique, guys. 2 little hops and wind in the slack. Let it sink to the bottom again and repeat. And just each time you cast, just cast it in a different spot. Just trying to cover as much ground to find those hungry fish. Then near the heads, throw them out. And they'll bring in some fish. Don't be worried, like I've caught just legal flatty who have eaten some of the heads, but it'll still go more. So it's not like one and done, they'll just keep eating, so you're not going to overfeed them. So the tide is super low, so I'm going to head around to this point over here and just toss this little Irukandji MEGAPRAWN around and just see if there's any flatty kind of hiding over there. Flatty are ambush predators, so they mainly just sit in one spot, so you have to go find them. So yeah, this is what you want to kind of look for when you're fishing the mangroves. These snags like here, and there's a nice one over here which will go flick off. These snags house lots of little bait fish. They shelter in amongst all the branches and holes and stuff, and then that's when you get bream and flatty and that type of thing hanging around these snags, just trying to ambush those small bait fish. So we'll have a flick either side of this and then move on. We're on it's just a little fella. Is he? Oh, he's not bad. Here he is. Not too bad. Getting pretty close. And that's the Irukandji MEGAPRAWN. Well, let's get him back. That's as far as I want to walk, kinda, to this little bay away from my gear. So now I'll just work the snags heading back. Hopefully we can get another flatty. Alright, here we are, another little spot. First thing, just when you get to a spot, have a couple flicks with the lure. Just a couple. Might just find a super keen fish. As much as I'd love to probably stay at this spot, I think I'm going to move across this little cove to the other side because it's just in the shade. This is super exposed and it is already warm after standing here for like a couple minutes. Ooh, that sweet, sweet shade. How's this for a rod holder? It's one of those hurricane fences kind of bases. It has perfect little holes. There's a lot of ants here, so just got to be careful with my bait. Might put this little box up in the tree. Let's get the bait rod out and work in while we set up. We'll throw some burley out. Hopefully that attracts something. Come on, longy. Oh, almost had the long tom. He had a go at the Irukandji MEGAPRAWN. I've had a long tom, have a solid crack at my line a few times. I've never been lucky enough to hook one. No, I don't know where he's gone. Spewing. Would love to catch a long tom on the channel. So I can see all the breadcrumbs on the surface, which is kind of perfect. You want them to sit on the surface. You want to encourage that surface feeding by the mullet and the gars. And then once that's kind of started and they're in the area, then we can send out a float with some bread on it and hopefully hook up. Whoa, we are on. I was just reeling in, guys. Tighten the drag a little. Wonder what it is. Yeah, it's a nice bream. Just what we were targeting. Alright, gotta lift him up. 1, 2, 3. Here he is, guys. Fun little bream on the yakka. Just a little strip of yakka on a circle hook. Bream are pretty good on the release. You'd have to keep a bream out of the water for quite a while for it to struggle on the release. Every time I put them back, they take off like a torpedo. You can see what's on the surface over there. Something, what is it? Oh, it's the gars. Here's a little pre-made float rig. one of these foam that kind of holds your setup just for this occasion, so we can quickly switch to a float, send it out and try get the gars. I mean, all mullet, but I know there's gars there. Oh, yep. We are on. Don't come off, little fella. One garfish. Cheering. Here he is, guys. The first garfish of the summer. Very cool. Right guys, the wind's picked up here, but over on that other side over there, it's kind of protected along the shore in a big plaster, so we'll move on to spot number 3. This side's perfect, out of the wind. At a big bend. Nah, nothing. Didn't get it. Didn't get the hook. Got too hot. Wasn't getting any bites, so packed up, and I'll come back this afternoon, probably just with the lure rod. Just have a little flick around, see what we can get.
Later.
Oh, did you see that, guys? There's a big fat snake there. Whew. Here's the backside of the mangroves. Plastic city. Which is why I don't eat a lot of fish from here, as that's going to contain a lot of microplastics. Almost like a garbage dump, because it's just like one way the tide brings all the rubbish in, but it gets stuck up in the mangroves. It never gets back out. It's a big jellyfish over there. Ooh, that was right in front. Just a baby flathead. Like, I could see that flathead as soon as it moved up to the bottom there. That's how close it was. why you don't have to worry about using too big a lure. Look at this little guy. That lure is as big as his head, and he had a crack. Yeah, Flathead will go lures and live baits that are way bigger than what you think they would.
Early the next morning.
Look at that swan. Hello, Swanee. Oh, we're still on. Just flicked it up into the shallows. Let's walk him in. He just flicked up this little juvenile bream, maybe. Not happy. Lost his brekkie now. There he is on the Irukandji MEGAPRAWN. Just flicked the lure a bit shallower than I was casting, and yeah, he was hiding up in the shallows, and absolutely got him perfectly. Right in the corner of the mouth, so that way we don't fray our line. Yeah, we'll send him back. Just get some of that water going over his gills. Oh, yep. You can feel him perking up. You can see his gills working. Getting ready. See you later, fella. Alright guys, that's it for another video. Hope you enjoyed hunting some flathead using the Irukandji. Great lure, highly recommend, go check them out. And yeah, click here to see one of my other videos. And I'll see you in the next one.